Hello, Spanish River reading students. Today I'm going to walk you through the directions for your first novel report assignment. I'm going to be posting these directions most likely the week before this is due. So this assignment will probably be due the following week or the coming week. You look on the checklist to see when it is due. Remember, always look at the checklist. It tells you what to do, right, and when it's due. Okay, so for this, like I said, I'm telling you these directions ahead of time so there are no questions. Always refer back to these directions before you text me or email me questions. Okay, so for the first novel report assignment, it says that remember that this is a project grade, so you must submit project quality work to earn a passing grade. If you just slop something down and just to say you completed it, that does not mean that you've passed it. Mediocre quality work will get you a mediocre quality grade. So make sure that your quality of work is sufficient and it is project quality and it meets all the requirements and you are proofreading all your writing for grammar and your analysis shows deep thought and not just filling out information just to say you got it done. Okay, to be clear, for this assignment, you will actually type on this Google Doc that I will eventually post to Google Classroom. Okay, so this will be posted on Google Classroom when you're supposed to work on it, and I will most likely post it as a separate posting. So what that means is that when you click on it, you will click on the document and you will actually type on this actual document. There's no need for you to print it up. There's no need for you to copy and paste it somewhere else. You don't need to do that. You actually type on the document and you at the end, at the top over here, on the top right, on yours, up here, it will say like submit. Mine says share because I'm a teacher right now. But yours will say submit and you will, or turn in or something like that. You will turn it in when you are done, okay? So make sure that you do that properly. All right, so now looking back at the directions. You should have divided your novel into 6 sections already. Remember, you must have gotten your novel approved by me, and you should have texted me a picture of it. I would have texted you back, your novel is approved. Okay, if you have not done that, then so far you have a 0 for the last 2 weeks of reading, and you need to get caught up in that and have me approve your novel. Go and read the directions on Google Classroom that I posted back in March about how to get a novel for the novel report. Okay, so once you divided your book into those 6 sections like we talked about, you should have read the first section, the first week of online schooling, and the second section is what you should be reading, I believe, this week of online schooling if you're watching this video on the second week of online schooling. So by the time you're completing this, you should have read 2.5 sections because this is going to be due 2.5 weeks into online schooling. For what you're going to do is you're going to pick 2 passages from the reading you've completed so far. 2 passages, maybe it's a passage that stuck out to you. It was something that it was like a moment that was important. Maybe it was a moment that you connect to. Maybe it was something that reminds you of something else. But 2 passage, or just maybe a passage that was significant to the story. So you're going to pick 2 passages that you want to analyze, okay? And you're going to type each of the passages in the appropriate section on this Google form. So if you look right here, you're going to type passage 1 right here. And then if you scroll down, you will see passage 2. You will type passage 2 right there, okay? When you type it, though, don't forget to put quotation marks around it after you're done typing the passage because you took the passage from the book. And then you must cite it using MLA format so you are not plagiarizing. I give you those instructions right here in red. It says you must make sure you put quotation marks around both your passages so you're not plagiarizing and cite it. If you forgot MLA format, I wrote it right here. It says, the author's last name and page number. Remember, you don't put commas or PG in the parentheses, and remember that your period goes on the outside of the parentheses. Okay, so that's how you're going to cite both of the passages once you're done typing them. Okay, here is what is important for this. Your passages both need to be of substantial length, meaning they both need to be at least a paragraph. So you're not copying down 1 or 2 sentences. You're copying down a paragraph because, like I said, it's a passage. that must be of substantial length. Okay, so make sure that you're copying down the full paragraph passage. If it's a small paragraph, copy maybe the lines around it and the paragraph above it and the paragraph below it, because you will be deducted points if you do not have a real, actual, full passage. Okay. Then you're going to analyze each of your passages in the appropriate section. So if you scroll down, this analyzation section goes with passage 1. Remember, you type right here on the document. And this one, if you scroll down, here's passage 2. That's where you type that. And then there's an analysis section for that one that goes with passage 2. So that one goes with that one. So that's where you type that. Okay. So let me go through this. So you type the passage here, cite it, or put quotation marks around it and cite it in MLA format. Make sure it's a thorough passage, at least a paragraph long. Okay. Then you're going to analyze it here. So people might ask, well, what do I analyze it for? I kind of gave you some ideas here, and you can go beyond these ideas too. Like, for example, answer, why is this passage significant? Why did you select it? What's happening in this passage? Why does it resonate with you? Like, why did it affect you? Or maybe, why did it stand out to you? How did these lines affect the story, or why are they important? Okay, your analysis needs to be thorough. Like I said, you can go even deeper and beyond these questions that I wrote here, but you need to make sure that it's like a paragraph answer. Once again, you'll be counted off if it's lacking and you have not proofread your grammar. Okay. Then, after that, you're going to come up with a thought-provoking question that goes with that first passage. See, thought-provoking discussion question that goes with passage 1. What that means is it's not a fact recall question. Like, for example, don't say, what was the person wearing in that passage? Or what did Bobby break up with Susie in that passage? Because that's fact. That's like fact or opinion. I mean, that's like a factual thing. We're not looking for a fact recall question. We're looking for a discussion question, meaning something that gets everybody thinking about the passage. Like, for example, in this situation, Susie's going through a heartbreak because Bobby broke up with her. Have you ever gone through a heartbreak? If so, explain. If not, maybe explain why your experience with a friend that's gone through a heartbreak. Okay, so make sure that that's just one example I'm giving you, but something that makes them think about the passage, makes people think and wonder, or makes them analyze the passage or connect it to their own lives or connect it to someone else's life, or maybe not necessarily connect it to something, but makes them think deeper about the passage. Okay, then below that, you're going to answer your own question. So how would you answer your question if your group member asked you that? So if we were doing lit circles in class and a group member asked you your question, how would you answer it? And make sure that you answer it thoroughly, your own question. Make sure it's at least 2 to 3 sentences, if not more than that. And once again, always proofread your writing for grammar, because grammar will count. Then if you scroll down, here's where you write passage 2, same things, quote it, cite it, make sure it's of substantial length. Analyze it thoroughly. Make sure that analysis is of substantial length, and you proofread for grammar. Come up with your thought-provoking question that goes with passage 2. Once again, make sure you proofread it. And then lastly, answer your own question for passage 2 right there. And once again, make sure that your answer is thorough and you proofread it for grammar. Okay, so those are the instructions. If you have questions, read this stuff here. It tells you exactly what I just said, in case you need to look back at what the instructions are. Okay, so good luck with that, and you should see on the checklist when this is due. Like I said, I'm giving you these instructions ahead of time. That's what I'm planning as of now. So you might not see it on the checklist this week because it's going to probably be due the following week, unless you're watching these directions late. Okay, so make sure that you are always following the checklist, because the checklist tells you when everything is due and what day it's due. All right, bye.